All right, what's good everyone? OJ here. Welcome back to another video. Today we've got a big one with Nintendo Switch hardware sales, software sales, records being broken left and right, debut sales, Pokemon sales, also Xenoblade Chronicles 3, more updates and information that you guys are going to want to check out, and also new gameplay footage as well. So this should be a good one. But before we get into that, please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're someone new, and click that notification bell to get my videos first. And let's go ahead and jump right into it here with the Nintendo Switch. It has sold over 107.65 million units worldwide as of March 31st, 2022. Nintendo announced in its latest earnings release that a total of 4.11 million Switch hardware and 55.77 million software were sold during the 3 months ended March 31st, 2022. Now, Nintendo also shared updated sales numbers for its first-party Nintendo Switch titles. Let's start from the bottom in their top 10 and then move our way up, and then we'll get into 16 additional titles in addition to the big games that you guys want to hear about as well. So at number 10, Ring Fit Adventure at 14.09 million. Number 9, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee at 14.53 million. Number 8, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl at 14.65 million. Number 7, Super Mario Party at 17.78 million. Number 6, Super Mario Odyssey at 23.50 million. Number 5, Pokemon Sword and Shield at 24.27 million. Number 4, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild at 26.55 million. And I'll talk about that game in just a bit because there's a little bit extra to add to it. At number 3, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate at 28.17 million. Number 2, Animal Crossing New Horizons at 38.64 million. And then at number 1, The Eternal Mario Kart 8 Deluxe at 45.33 million. Now, one little thing that I want to discuss here with the top 10 is The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. This game moved an astonishing 700,000 units in the past quarter. It's selling almost as if it's a brand new game, or what you would see in the legs of a new game, and very, very impressive. And once again reinforces the idea that the new age of Legend of Zelda has just been a smash success, considering we're going to talk about the Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD sales numbers and how that game is not moving like the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is moving, despite Skyward Sword being the old school style of Zelda game. So I do think that there's something to note here, saying that the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is still doing considerably good, considering how old it is. It is a launch title and a dual release, be it that, and the fact that you can still move 700,000 plus units in the past quarter despite all the new games that are coming out and everything is just very impressive. And I'll be honest here, out of all the games in the top 10 and all the games that Nintendo's released this year, or this generation, I have to say more like it, I am most impressed with The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild more so than anything. But let's go ahead and move on to some additional Nintendo first-party sales numbers. Nintendo gave us 16 other million sellers to discuss here. So at number 16, Game Builder Garage at 1.06 million. Number 15, WarioWare Get It Together at 1.27 million. Number 14, Big Brain Academy Brain vs. Brain at 1.59 million. Number 13, Miitopia at 1.68 million. Number 12, Mario Golf Super Rush at 2.35 million. So pretty good for that game. It came out last June or so, so not bad at all. Number 11, New Pokemon Snap at 2.40 million. Once again, very good for that game. Next up at number 10, Kirby and the Forgotten Land, 2.65 million. I do want to spend just a little bit of time on this because this game barely had a week or so on the recording of the sales, and it sold 2.65 million almost blowing away what Kirby Star Allies has done lifetime to date. So that is very good. This is a fantastic start for Kirby, and as we do know, it's still up there in the sales charts on the eShop worldwide and also on the Amazon sales. So 3 million is definitely a guarantee for Kirby and the Forgotten Land very soon, if not already there, since they're not tracking. It's already past that. It's already past 3 million units. So that's very good to see Kirby and the Forgotten Land do so well with its big debut on the Nintendo Switch, a 3D Kirby game outside of what they're doing with the 2D stuff with Star Allies. But this to me is the real Nintendo Switch Kirby game. So very good to see that game do well. Then right after that, back to back, Metroid Dread at 2.90 million. Very good to see this. We have an official confirmation that Metroid Dread is now Nintendo's best-selling Metroid game of all time, and right there, right at that goal, man. It's so close to the 3 million goal for the Balan Wonderworld playthrough from my good friend RGT on his channel. So I think that it should hit that 3 million within the next 3-4 months or so. We do know that the game sold, or at least it shipped out, another 160,000 units for the past quarter from January to March. So even if you have that down by a good percentage, so like let's say 100,000, it gets it, or maybe you completely cut it in half and then you times that by the next 2 quarters, it would still hit 3 million within the 1 year time frame before the October 8th 1 year time frame. So Metroid Dread is sitting very pretty at 2.90 million. Looking forward to that finally hitting 3 million. But once again, the best-selling Metroid game of all time in well less than a year. That is something to get excited about for the future of the series. Now, next up, like I alluded to before, The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD at 3.91 million. Obviously, not having the legs that The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild has, but still not bad at all. Number 7, Clubhouse Games 51 Worldwide Classics at 4.22 million, which that game selling that much is crazy, by the way. Number 6, Mario Party Superstars, 6.88 million. That's on pace with Super Mario Party, according to Nintendo, sales-wise. Number 5, Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury at 9.43 million. Number 4, Luigi's Mansion 3 at 11.43 million. That is incredible for Luigi's Mansion. That series just keeps getting better and better and bigger with each installment. Luigi's Mansion 4 could be up in the 20 million unit range the next time they release that, or whatever system it's on or anything. Next up at number 3, Pokemon Legends Arceus. This is a brand new game here, 12.64 million units. Not having 2 versions of the game, not having a holiday bump at all. That is impressive and shows that there is some evolution in the Pokemon series when it comes to the gameplay and everything, and I'm very excited for what's next for Pokemon Legends Arceus, because I think that this means that they're probably going to be developing these 2 types of games, like with the mainline Pokemon games that we're seeing like Scarlet and Violet, and also the Legends brand. I think that's going to become its own thing and really take that to the next step, because you can tell that was probably a smaller team that was working on something like that. But if they put more of the resources into it like they're putting with Scarlet and Violet, I think the Legends series can be absolutely massive, because it already is absolutely massive. I think it can just get bigger and bigger. So I would love to see what they're going to do next with the Legends brand of games. Next up, Splatoon 2 at 13.30 million. Very good to see Splatoon 2 continue to rock on, and Splatoon 3 coming out on September 9th. Then next up at number 1, New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe The Eternal, 13.31 million units, and now Nintendo Switch has sold over 822.18 million Switch games. So very impressive there as well. So that was quite a bit of information that we went over. What were some of your highlights for it? I know for me, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Metroid Dread, those were 2 of the big highlights that I like to see. Kirby and the Forgotten Land and Pokemon Legends Arceus, those were all great to see how well those games are doing. But what were your highlights? What were your thoughts on the Nintendo Switch sales? I know for me, I didn't think that they would sell 4 million plus in the quarter, and they did 107.65. I hit it right there on the head. I thought it was going to be 107 million or so, and that's exactly what they got. But yeah, very good to see 4.11 million units and 107 million plus when it comes to the overall sales of the Nintendo Switch, well on its way to passing up the PlayStation 4 and also the Game Boy this year. Both of those should be getting very close to passing them up. But what are your thoughts on this, guys? When it comes to everything here with the sales, let me know in the comment section below. All right, now moving on to the next topic here. We've got an update, a big update when it comes to Xenoblade Chronicles 3. This fiery looking guy that you are looking at right here. Yes, we've got a description plus also some screenshots, some art. This looks amazing. So shout outs to the Xenoblade EN official page on Twitter. They had the translation beat on this one saying, this here is Kamuravi. His VA is Titan Kusunoki. He is a strong-willed leader of the Colony Delta Milita Force. In battle, he wields a fiery lance. He gained the nickname Dark Fist Kamuravi due to his burning desire and drive for victory, whatever the cost. He looks like that. He looks like the guy from Demon Slayer too. You guys know the guy from Demon Slayer there? Yeah, he kind of looks like him too, which I do like that. They both have that big fire personality and fire attributes to them as well. This guy's shoulder piece is on fire. That's really cool too. But yeah, I do like his outfit and everything here. Plus, we have a little bit more on him as well, plus to some official screenshots. Despite how that sounds, he's quite the honorable warrior. While he strives for swift, fiery hot victory, he is always one to pay homage to his opponent, the Keeves, outright showing his respect for them by battling fairly. So very good there. Obviously, Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is looking better and better every time that they show off the game. I think that one of the things that makes this exciting, I talked about it in my beginner's guide for Xenoblade Chronicles. If you didn't see that video yesterday, I think some of you guys missed that. Make sure you check out that video. I have a link in the description below where I went over how great the story was and the characters, and I gave you guys some resources and links to really just understand the overall atmosphere of Xenoblade. And once you do understand that, it gets you so much more hyped to find out who these characters are, what their role is, what their place is, what's going on in Xenoblade 3. This is the most intriguing, from a story perspective, intriguing game anticipation that I've ever had since like Mass Effect 2 and Mass Effect 3 back on the Xbox 360. So I am thoroughly thrilled and excited. I'm just waiting for these games to come on. I'm so happy Nintendo moved it up to July 29th. Oh, that's such a good thing that happened there, guys. But those are my thoughts. What do you guys think about this new character being announced? Let me know in the comment section below. Now, we did go over a new character there, but now we are going to talk about some new gameplay footage and also translation once again. So recently, Monolith Soft put out this new gameplay clip on the official Xenoblade channel, and we do have a translation of it as well. And it says, in battle, your allies will automatically attack except for the character you are playing as. When fighting multiple enemies, it is recommended that you switch targets to defeat one enemy at a time. And as you guys can see here, there are multiple different enemies. There is a switch between them, and there are attacks being thrown out left and right, and it's just so cool to see how smooth everything is running. See the nice water effects, see the detail in the characters, even with all of these characters on screen at the same time. You have 3 party members in addition to an open-ended area, everything still operating in the background while the fight is going on. No specific battle screen that a lot of games, even current generation games that are coming out, use in order to lighten the load on the CPU or on the system itself. Xenoblade is handling all of this at the same time, and you're seeing very smooth gameplay. So this has me extremely excited to see more of the game and what else Monolith Soft does. I've always stated this before, and I think I'll state it again. Monolith Soft is my favorite Nintendo developer out there. They're just like my favorite developer just in general, because I know that they don't make the most popular games when it comes to RPGs. There's Final Fantasy and there's other games that do better, but I think that Monolith Soft is building something very much like From Software was building, which I've compared these companies before. They're doing things their way, and whether it takes, 10 years or 20 years or whatever the case is, they're going to build games their way and get new fans who want to go into their world, how they're going to build their games. They're not going to bend to everybody else around them. They're going to make the type of games that they want, and they're going to build and be successful based off of that. If you want to play, you play. If you don't, then you can play something else. So that's what I love about Monolith Soft. They did not kind of just say, okay, we're going to make Tales, Xenoblade. They stated that they're going to make the game that they want to make, and this is it. So I am so excited to play Xenoblade Chronicles 3 when it comes out this July. So what are your thoughts on everything that I've shared so far here with the Switch sales numbers, new Xenoblade character information, and of course, new combats as well? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, guys, that wraps it up for this one here. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Please make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe if you're someone new. Click that notification bell, and we will see you for the next video. Peace.